Rhythm games are as surprisingly durable as they are stagnant. Though various little titles may come and go, generally rhythm games fall under one of two categories: playing call and response with music, a la Parappa the Rapper or Space Channel 5, or reacting to music with specific button combinations or taps, like Guitar Hero, Elite Beat Agents, or the Project Diva series. While there are some titles that press the rhythm genre forward, often it's one step forward and two steps back. Bit Trip Runner is more a trial-and-error memorization game that happens to sync up to music rather than a title with proper reactivity. Beat Hazard is messy, and Thumper's focus on backbeats alienates it from a casual audience despite generally being a good time. Today's focus, and perhaps the greatest offender, is Tadpole Treble and the level Piranha Jungle. Though abundant with good ideas, a divide in focus and imprecise implementation make for a stage that is as discordant as it is unfortunate. Tadpole Treble was released in May 2016 by BitFinity Studios, best known for head Matthew Toronto's work on the Brawl in the Family webcomic series. You control Baton, a cute little tadpole that swims up and down a musical staff in an auto-runner style to reach the end of a song. Obstacles consist of the melody's notes in Baton's way, with Baton taking damage if she literally runs into the song. Collectibles for various bonuses, side objectives to hit along to the beat, and other obstacles are put in for her to swim toward or around. And it's here that Tadpole Treble hits its first major problem. As music notes are your obstacle, you take a very passive role in actually interacting with the music. Dodging notes lacks the same punch as running into one, or hitting a button in time with the song. And the pattern Baton is required to move at is out of pace with the music. You do hit bamboo and cymbals to the beat of the song, which is nice, but it's infrequent and optional. It creates the odd situation where the player is encouraged to listen to the music, but also act against it. This is exacerbated when obstacles not related to the music are put in the player's way, which leads us right back to Piranha Jungle. From a musical standpoint, Piranha Jungle is actually a lot of fun. A funky little bass-heavy beat interspersed with saxophone, woodwinds, and piano work make it one of the more memorable tracks in the game from an instrumental standpoint. However, the composition of the song works against Tadpole Treble's gameplay. Full of chords and a steady drum beat, there's a great deal of notes clumped together, often with only a single step in between them for Baton to squeeze through. Coupled with the relatively quick tempo compared to other songs, makes for a difficult environment that is very easy to get hit in. Additionally, striking specific objects for extra points is very difficult because of the tight timing of Baton's tail slap. Finding an object Baton can hit, swimming to it from your position without hitting notes in the way, and actually hitting it in time with the tempo? Far easier said than done when clusters of notes keep Baton from properly moving to the beat. In fact, the notes being so close together interferes with the pathing of the automatic sections. Baton aiming right in the middle of two notes after a jump will sometimes just end up with her getting hit. The namesake of the jungle is what really sinks the level into an exercise in frustration, though. This school of piranhas stalks Baton early on, and serve as a solid distraction. Through the first minute of the level, they essentially just float in place, occasionally swimming forward. To this point in the game, Baton has rarely had enemies come from behind her, and any advances in their movement have been synced to the music. Despite never hitting Baton, the piranhas float forward at every 8 count, which puts pressure on a player that has no idea if the piranhas will take a bite and instantly kill them or not. This pressure is very unwelcome, limiting the player's movement options and likely causing them to make an incorrect reaction. While limiting the screen is what enemies should do, the song's fast pace and Tadpole Treble's offbeat gameplay creates a scenario where the optimal movement depends more on trial and error than anything else. The next segment involves these crayfish in bubbles, emphasizing the horns played in this section. These are really cheap and they suck, not gonna lie. They appear earlier in the level, but are quickly eaten by the piranhas and are positioned in a place where the player very likely is not. The player has no real way of knowing that the crawdads will reach out their beady little legs and swipe at Baton, likely ruining her flow. This is exacerbated by items placed near them and the sheer number of the things. Even if they're reasonably skilled, a player's response will probably involve getting hit, panicking, trying to stabilize themselves by going after the collectibles, and getting hit again by the surprising reach of the crayfish. The worst is yet to come, unfortunately. Soon, the piranhas mobilize again, lining up like a cannon. After a short delay, they will lock and load, firing a piranha right at the player. The sound effect for prepping a piranha and throwing it out is way too short, especially with a piranha taking a full 4 spaces on the staff. It's here where the saxophone also becomes more freestyle, muddling the beat up. It took me about 10 attempts to realize that the piranha's launch pattern was based on every 8 count rather than Baton's current position, but I had to manually count out the beat while dodging piranhas and the obstacles in front of me to figure that out. The best rhythm games are simple, letting the rhythm of the song take them through inputs they couldn't make otherwise. The best action games implement reactive elements, so a skilled player can adapt on the fly. Piranha Jungle attempts to implement a rigid musical structure while also putting in reactive elements, and because of this, it fails as both a rhythm and an action challenge. The level ends with a set of 3 obstacles. First, jumping piranhas, which all have the same jump arc despite landing in different locations, which also goes against the rhythm and makes reacting to the environment a massive pain. Second, there are snapping plants to limit the player's movement, though admittedly they are well telegraphed and lead to a really fun section where the player has to swim through bars of vocals. Going between the notes can be obnoxiously tight due to the pace of the song, but I can let it slide because these collectibles are optional. The final challenge, however, commits the unforgivable sin of rendering the rest of the level moot. It is required to hit symbols with your tail, followed by fruit. Each fruit has a different timing for when it needs to be hit within a 4-count window, and 6 of these 8 fruits need to be hit by the player, or it's an instant game over upon hitting the finish line. With how imprecise Baton's movement is, as well as the lag in between presses of the hit button, this presents a scenario where the player is very likely to barely squeak by, panic, and mash the hit button rather than trying to follow the beat. In its last moments, Piranha Jungle tries to focus on the rhythm it long since established and fails in favor of clunky and frenetic action. I don't want to be harsh on Tadpole Treble. The game is absolutely gorgeous. BitFinity's response to and care for their community has been wonderful. The music samples themselves are of high quality, and Toronto's love for his Louisiana background shines through in setting and music in an infectiously enthusiastic way. Songs like Saltwater Cape and especially Moonlight Bayou are some of the most legitimately charming experiences in a rhythm game. But Tadpole Treble is fundamentally flawed as both an action and a rhythm game, and stages like Piranha Jungle are masterclasses on traps to avoid that may seem like good ideas on paper. Action, rhythm, and staff-based gameplay can both function, but the focus needs to be on the player's mastery of understanding the music, rather than the avoidance of it. While I would love to see BitFinity give it another go, at the moment, Tadpole Treble most strongly shows how you design for discordance.